Your weekly roundup of HR news and events in Singapore and beyond. This is HRM Weekly. I'm Shalini Shukla-Pandey. The Singapore Business Federation has announced its recommendations for Budget 2015. Also, employers in Singapore are taking a cautious approach to hiring this year. We begin with Singapore Business Federation's or SBF's recommendation for Budget 2015. The SBF has proposed the setting up of a single government body to champion the development of small and medium enterprises or SMEs. This would not only centralize all SME assistant functions but also cut red tape and response time. The committee has also proposed a restructuring loan scheme with a loan quantum of up to 3 million Singapore dollars to help SMEs with cash flow needs for restructuring. To further help with cutting costs, the SME committee also urged the government to extend the Productivity and Innovation Credit or PIC bonus scheme for another 3 years to 2018 to coincide with the extension of the PIC scheme. Another item on the wish list is for the government to defer further planned increases in foreign worker levies, considering that present policies have met their objectives of restricting foreign worker access and protecting local wages. Scrapping of levies for S-Pass holders was also suggested. Lawrence Liao, chairman of the SME Committee for SBF, said that as SMEs make up the core of local enterprises, the government is urged to place these organizations at the heart of economic strategies as the next phase of restructuring is reviewed. Fewer companies in Singapore are planning to take on new hires in the first quarter of 2015. According to the latest Hudson Report employment trends, only 37% of employers in Singapore are planning to increase headcount in the first half of the year. The Information and Communications Technology or ICT sector shows the strongest hiring outlook, with 52.4% of polled companies planning to hire this year. Close to 6 months since the Fair Consideration Framework was implemented in an effort to raise the number of Singaporeans in jobs, the focus on hiring local talent is likely to highlight skills shortages in certain areas and drive more competition in the market. This is especially so for middle management roles that contribute to growth and drive transformation. Singapore is seeing a growing requirement for digital specialists who can help their companies maximize their presence and revenue via digital platforms. Emmanuel White, General Manager, Hudson Singapore, said that with mobility and virtualization a strategic focus for most industries, the talent demand is also high on the service provider side. Candidates who can demonstrate collaboration and influencing skills will also be soon sought after, as IT must now become a business partner rather than just a service provider. Employees in Japan will soon be forced to take time off work. The move is aimed at reducing karoshi or death by overworking that is spread from senior staff to their younger counterparts. Workers in Japan are so reluctant to leave their offices that they took less than half their holiday entitlement in 2013. Many younger workers are expected to clock in as many as 100 hours of overtime monthly. Workers said that taking time off in an uncertain economy risked being them stereotyped as lacking work commitment. The government wants to increase the percentage of paid leave from 48% in 2013 to 70% by 2020. Under the revised law, companies will be required to ensure their employees take time off work. Currently, workers in Japan are entitled to a minimum of 10 days paid leave per year, with the number rising 1 day for every year that they work to a maximum of 20 days a year. The proposed bill will be submitted at a parliamentary session that will convene on 26 January. A civil servant in India is sacked after skipping work for 24 years. Electrical engineer A.K. Verma, who rose through the ranks to become an executive engineer by 1990, went on leave in the same year and never returned to work. Verma had been under investigation since 1992 when an inquiry was set up. However, formal proceedings to dismiss him commenced only in 2007. It took another 7 years to finally dismiss him. It is unclear whether Verma received his wages during his time off. High work absenteeism is a pervasive problem in government-run offices in India. Even schools have been confronted with high absenteeism rates of teachers. Last August, a public school in Madhya Pradesh dismissed a teacher who was absent for 23 years of a 24-year career. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has promised to crack down on slack working procedures by making bureaucrats use a fingerprint scanning system at work. For this week's HR Bulletin, Top HR Topics in 2015 is set to be HRM Asia's first ever 2-in-1 Congress, combining two major themes: HR business partner strategy and multi-gen workforce management. What this means is that you'll be basically attending two events for the price of one. Happening 4 and 5 February at the Marriott Hotel Singapore. To register, email us at info@hrmasia.com.sg or call us at 6423-4631. And finally, think about this. Just because something doesn't do what you planned it to do, doesn't mean it's useless. By Thomas Edison. And that's HRM Weekly. Get more stories on hrmasia.com. From Singapore, I'm Shalini Shuklapani. Thanks for watching.